In the dramatic finale of The Boys Season 4, we witnessed Billy Butcher using his temporary superpowers seemingly tear Victoria Neuman, one of the most dangerous characters in the series, right in half. For many viewers, this shocking moment marked the end of Neuman's complex storyline. But what if that wasn't the real Neuman? What if the person we saw die was actually a shapeshifter? This theory has been gaining traction among fans, and when you look closely at the details, it starts to make a lot of sense. Victoria Neuman has always been a character who stays several steps ahead of everyone else. She's a master manipulator, using her political influence and terrifying power to explode heads at will, making her a formidable villain. Given her intelligence and strategic mindset, would she really allow herself to be taken out so easily? I know that no one would have expected Butcher to appear, but it was very careless of Neuman to just go to the boys, especially with her daughter. So let's break down why Neuman might still be alive. First, let's revisit the scene where Butcher supposedly kills Neuman. The moment is really brutal and especially shocking, but there's something about it that feels a bit off. Neuman, who has been incredibly careful throughout the series, suddenly finds herself in a situation where she's powerless and defenseless. It's not the kind of ending you'd expect for someone as calculated as her. This raises the question, was it really her? Earlier in the series, we were introduced to a shapeshifter who could perfectly mimic other characters. This shapeshifter was seemingly killed by Starlight, but when you rewatch the scene, it almost looks staged. Starlight's actions don't fully match what you'd expect from a life or death struggle. It's possible that the shapeshifter survived that encounter and later took on the role of Neuman, serving as a decoy during the final confrontation with Butcher. If this is true, then Neuman might have anticipated the threat and put her plan into action, using the shapeshifter to fake her death. Above all, Neuman made no effort to protect herself in the air. Butcher had his tentacles wrapped around her, but with the aid of her superpower, she could have easily escaped such a situation. We recall back in Season 3 when she fought Tony. Despite him nearly strangling her, she managed to blow his jaw off with her power. Another important detail is what happens after Neuman's supposed death. The show gives us a glimpse of her daughter, Zoe, who has been sent off to a boarding school. This moment seems like a small, almost throwaway scene, but it could be a major clue. If Neuman was really dead, why would the show bother to highlight her daughter's situation? It seems more likely that this is part of Neuman's plan. By sending her daughter away, Neuman ensures she's safe from harm, possibly preparing for a future where Neuman can operate without the fear of her daughter being used against her. The idea that Neuman would go to such lengths to protect her daughter makes perfect sense. Throughout the series, Neuman has shown that she's willing to do whatever it takes to secure her position and protect her loved ones. Sending Zoe to a boarding school could be her way of keeping her daughter out of the line of fire while she fakes her own death and disappears. This theory also ties into Neuman's overall character arc. She's always been about survival, manipulation, and staying one step ahead. Faking her death would be the ultimate move in her game of power and control. We also shouldn't overlook the possibility that Stan Edgar, whom Victoria once saved, might be involved in this scenario. Given Edgar's strategic mind and his history of manipulating situations to his advantage, it's plausible that he played a role in helping Neuman stage her death. If Neuman was a key asset to Edgar's plans, he could have orchestrated the entire event to ensure her safety. If Neuman is still alive, her return would have significant consequences for the 5th season of The Boys. Her survival would add a new layer of tension and unpredictability to the already volatile world of superheroes. Additionally, Neuman's potential return would raise questions about her relationship with her daughter. If she's alive and in hiding, it's likely that she's keeping tabs on Zoe, ensuring her safety from the shadows. Neuman's maternal instincts have been hinted at throughout the series, and her desire to protect Zoe could be a driving force behind her decisions. This could lead to compelling storylines in future seasons, as Neuman might be forced to reveal herself to save Zoe from danger or reclaim her role in the world. Another aspect to consider is how Butcher and the other characters would react to Neuman's return. Butcher, who believed he had finally rid the world of a significant threat, would be pretty confused if he discovered that Neuman is still alive. This could reignite his hatred and push him further down the path of destruction, leading to an even more intense conflict between him, Neuman, and Homelander. The other characters too would have to reassess their strategies and alliances, knowing that Neuman is still a player in the game. In conclusion, while Victoria Neuman's apparent death in the Season 4 finale seemed definitive, there are several clues that suggest it might have been a carefully planned deception. The involvement of a shapeshifter, the staged feel of Starlight's earlier encounter, the decision to send her daughter to a boarding school, and Gus Fring, aka Stan Edgar, all point to the possibility that she's still alive. If this theory is correct, Neuman's return would have major implications for the series, potentially changing the course of the story in unexpected ways. What do you think? Could Victoria Neuman still be alive, plotting her next move? If you believe in this theory, let us know in the comments.